Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. It is a stunning, snowy January morning on the ranch. Getting water put in the greenhouses, taking care of our calves next. I got up this morning, I got the shift done, got the animals somewhat fed and somewhat watered. We're about halfway done with the process. Wanted to get you guys in here so we can go through some of the changes. So first and foremost, our bullpen all the way over there at the far end is now empty. I cannot get that pasture mod to hold the capacity it says it's supposed to hold. It's supposed to hold 500 animals. It doesn't hold 500 animals. And once again this morning we were overflowing with bulls. So it's a great problem to have. We are increasing our holdings, but gotta have a pen to put them in. So, as you guys will see in just a minute, I dropped a feedlot in the back, and we have our bulls back there. So let's just finish looping and getting these pens topped off. All good to go. And our two calf huts here. There's the first one. The snow on the ranch is amazing. Looks great. The Fiat loves it, just eats it up. So back over here, we put in the feedlot for our bulls. This will hold 1,000 animals. Not going to get full ever. Going to work really, really well. So jumping in, perfect. 62 animals out of 113. That other pen was only holding 57 or 59 despite what it was supposed to be holding. So much, much better. Now I did get about 80,000 liters of hay in here. We don't have any straw in here yet, which we can have, and it will produce manure, which is going to be important for our next endeavor. So I'm thinking we're going to put the manure heap in the back. I want it away from the other barns. I don't want it overlapping because I like where we have, and when the manure heaps overlap, it tends to create all kinds of conflict. So I'm thinking maybe we take this tree down right here. And the great news is I discovered our new winch mod works with all of our trailers. You don't have to take it off. So if you look at the back here, we're hooked up and the winch is still here. So we are in good shape. So I can actually leave the water tanker here, slide on back. May need to do a little bit of smoothing there. And I can grab this tree. Now, whether I can successfully pull it all the way over to the sawmill from here is a totally different story. That's related to my skill, not related to the mod. But let's go ahead and we got the live winch line this morning. Maybe approach it from this side, sneak up on it, don't make eye contact. Got it. All right, good to go there. I do want to, yeah, I can see just a little bit of a bump there. Let's go ahead and smooth that out. Just put the feedlot down right before you guys got here. Was just tired of having all the animals not fitting where they were supposed to fit. And with the addition of the manure heap on this pen, we are going to have some good options. Just going to winch this in tight in hopes of getting it through the farmyard. We're going to have some good options as far as an additional production here on the yard. Okay, so far so good. The tree's with us. I would like to go back that way and just go directly to the sawmill, but I think cutting through the trees with another tree may result in some entanglement that we don't want. All right, definitely got to get those triggers turned back off. There it is. Now we're enjoying the beautiful snowy morning. All right, so can we sneak up through here? So far, so good. Run this tree out to the sawmill. As you guys can see over there in the distance, the sawmill, we do not have any wood productions this morning. We got them all turned off, so we are not just cranking out stuff unnecessarily. Gonna get this guy dropped off. We will probably do some more forestry work. Not sure it'll be on camera, but I'll keep working the sawmill, keeping it full, selling some logs. Had some very interesting things happen overnight. Our updates to the Herdsman worked really, really well. Gonna go through the barns with you guys and the messages. But we had animals bought, we had animals sold, we had our animals artificially inseminated. All of the things that we wanted to have happen have happened. So that is good news. Let's head on back over. Driving in the snow is so much fun. We're going to head back, and I want to drop this manure heap in the back. Maybe even put a little gravel path back to it. Like I said, this spot back here, not the most convenient as far as being able to use it, but I really don't want to have any overlap with the rest of the manure heaps. Do we want it? Which way do we want it? Do we actually just want to do like this? So you can just back straight up to it? That's actually not a bad plan right there. So let's go back and let's see what this manure heap is connected to. Is it connected to anything other than the bullpen? Nope, it's connected to just the bullpen. Great news. That's what we wanted. We did not want any overlap. We're going to hit it with a quick soften on the edges just to make sure there's nothing there that's going to get in the way. We'll grab some gravel and just sort of gravel in here. And then we'll bring this up to size and bring a gravel path down to where we are now. So now, here we go. There's our manure heap. And we have a nice gravel path back to it. So, in regards to the other production, I want to grab our water tanks we're going to top off. What was the nursing home may now be the fertility clinic. Not sure what to call that pen. All the animals in it currently are infertile, so we'll have to see what comes of them. But what are we going to do with the bullpen? Well, that's where I think we're going to put in our new production. Because as you can see driving around here, that didn't quite get it on camera there. Hold on. Back up. Look at those tires spin. That's great. That manure heap back there, right over there, is relatively full. The one straight ahead that has a trailer tipped up on edge because it's so full, it's very full. The one by Team Town, it's not terribly full, but it has some manure in it, so we're producing an excess of manure. We're not able to get all of our manure up to the BGA every day and in, because the BGA just doesn't process that much. So while this is emptying, we're going to come in here, and I have an idea of what I want to do. So we're coming here, and ooh, that is tough with the snow, isn't it? There we go. We're going to sell the old bullpen. $15,000. I've tried 3 different versions of that pen, and just none of them work. Now here's a quick pro tip for you guys doing some yard installation in the snow. Can't see at all what I'm doing, but if you soften, which really doesn't do much if your yard's pretty smooth to begin with and won't affect any of your crops if you were to accidentally go into your field, now I can see where my path is, where the grass is, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to come down here, and I found this, the Fertilizer Plant Mod, $50,000, and it produces fertilizer from manure and slurry and digestate. And I think that's what we're going to do for our next animal production. So how do we want to place it on here? Because we have quite a bit of space. Do we put it this way and have it sort of facing the back of the yard? That means we got to get our vehicles back here versus if we were to put it this way, it would be facing the front edge. I think that's going to be it right there. Let's grab another quick soften. Just make sure that that went down smooth and easy. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So then we can pull right in there and then loop back around. So that will work. So I actually don't want to disconnect from the tank here. All right, we are full in the fertility clinic. They've got all the water they can need. And that leaves us a spot for maybe even another shed or something else if we need to expand. So that worked out really, really well. So let's do some more animal work and let's get updated on what's going on. First and foremost, we have a bit of a critical problem this morning, and that problem is that we don't have any food in the breeding barn. We had like 120,000 liters in here just the other day, and it is absolutely gone. I am shocked that it went that quickly. So I'm thinking maybe let's try this. I want to see if this will work. We may do this a different way. You want to know what? We are going to do it a different way because they need like 100,000 plus liters of food. So we're going to grab the TLX and the step deck and head into the barn with all those hay bales and see if we can't get them to go into the feed trigger. Because if we try, I was going to think about emptying our mixer truck and putting it all in there, but that only holds, was it 28 or 32,000 liters, and if we need to put in, you know, upwards of a couple 100,000 liters, that's going to be a tough. Ooh, the TLX is sliding. That is going to be tough to get going. We're going to be going slow in the yard with the snow and the TLX. Do not want to hit anything. All right, let's grab some bales. As you can see, we're getting down to the bottom here, guys. 25 hay bales. Let's see what we can get. Not sure what loading method I have. Ah, lovely. Layering. That's what we want. Layering is the way you want to do it unless you're doing mixed loads. Mixed loads, I like to use stacking on Autoload because it tends to group things together and they fit better. But layering is so much better when you have either all the same size stuff like pallets or bales. Keeps the center of gravity nice and low and easy. So here's 200,000 liters of hay. We're going to take it in here and see if we can get the triggers to fill up. We may have to do some creative stuff, but let's see if it's taking any of it. It is not taking any of it. That is A-okay. So what we're going to do here is throw the straps on. We're going to pull all the way back around and get repositioned. Oh, I didn't think about this turn here with the new bullpen. That is snug. I have to take that tree out. All right, can we set this up? Because this is not the way to approach this turn with this trailer. Oh boy. Might work. Might just work, guys. Bumping the outside wall. We're trying to get real close to the outside wall. Then we're going to come in. Alright, that feels better. Alright, we're going to come in. We're going to make sure our unloading side is to the right, which it is. I'm We're going to unload the bales. A bunch of them will disappear. Those that don't, we can reload. And go from there. And is the food going up? Food, they got 36,000 liters. So at least they have some food now. Let's see if we need to move up a little bit. Maybe we're not close enough to the midpoint of the trigger. There we go. See some of those bales disappearing? That's what we want. Seems like the sweet spot is right in here. Yeah, we're getting just the middle of that trigger. Alright, so they should have... Perfect. They should have 200,000 liters of food. They have 201,000 liters of food. Great news. So now we need to take a trip up to the store because we are out of straw. I don't think we have a single... Well, that's not entirely true. There are 2 bales in the straw blower. So we could go ahead and get the straw blown in, but we're going to need more than that. I do want to double check that we don't have any more straw in here. Let's see. Hay, solid fertilizer, lime, yeah, round bale net, herbicide seed, yep. No straw there. So we're going to head up to the shop. I'm going to grab some straw. We're going to bring back a whole load because we're just going to need it on the farm. We need it for the calf huts. We need it in the barns. We need it in the bullpen now. So I'll run up to the store. I'm going to grab some straw, and I will catch you guys when I'm back with the straw. Getting back to the farm, I bought 32... Nope, that's not right. I bought 24 straw bales. Was just under $32,000. We have had a straw shortage on the ranch from the very beginning. We just have never produced enough straw to support our straw needs. So, gonna get this stuff loaded into the shed, at least some of it, I guess I should say. We probably should run a bunch of it down to the new bullpen. So maybe we do that real quick. What do you guys think the Massey's going to do in the snow? Could be quite a bit of fun. May not work at all. Let's take a look and see what happens with the Massey in the snow. We're sliding. All right, so right off the bat, traction not ideal, but I think we'll be all right. Let's just take our time. Snowy chore day, not a big deal. Yeah, we are sliding. Sliding all over the place. All right, here we go. Let's see, can we do 4? You know, why not? In the snow, slipping and sliding. Let's try 4 bales. What could possibly go wrong? All right, so we got our 4 bales. Bring that up. Can't see anything about where we're going, but I'm concerned if I bring him any higher, it will be a problem. All right, where is... We got to be getting close to the trigger. Oh, yeah, we are in the trigger for the bullpen. Perfect. So maybe that was 4. Maybe we do 8 bales over here. Get them started. I do have some straw in the blower still. We got to go blow some straw into the calf pens, give them their straw bath for January. And then, as promised, we're going to get to the message and reports on our animals for the day. As I said, the Herdsman, I think we are rocking and rolling with the Herdsman. Feel like we know what we're doing and getting the results we want, which is perfect. So 8 bales over here, should be 36,000 liters of straw. Should definitely keep these guys going for a little bit. All right, perfect. and I will probably get the rest of this unloaded with the Massey off camera. Let's put a couple of bales in the shed. Let's do that. So actually, we may need to move the TLX to get the straw blower in the barn. So let's see, shouldn't take too long. We'll try to be, oh boy, didn't remove the bales from the front. Let's not make a mess of this. All right, there we go. Just get the bales in the shed there, guy. Don't overdo it. Perfect. If you guys have not tried this skid steer loader from Black Sheep Modding, it is incredible. It's one of the best ones in the game. Very versatile, functions really well, fun to drive. With the weight on the back, the capacity is, I'm constantly surprised at the capacity that this thing can move with the weight on the back. It's absolutely tremendous. So would definitely recommend trying it out. Comes with a full pack, forks, buckets, log grab, everything you need. And we got a couple of floater bales here. They making a run for it on us. Oh, and I think we're just knocking them off now. We were getting them in good sets of 4, and now we're going to end up doing them all in 2s at the end. Not a big deal. We'll get this one individually. It's in the way. I think 2 more trips. We get a stack of 3 and a stack of 2, and then all of our straw is put away. Good to have straw back on the farm. Like I said, we just have never produced enough straw. Look at that skid. That's great. We have never produced enough straw on the ranch for our own needs. We've always had to bring it in. Lucky for us, unlike a lot of real-life farmers, we're not paying for hay, which is very expensive these days. Feel bad for those guys, but straw is our shortcoming here. So, last trip, if we can get turned around, get our last 2 bales so we can get the TLX out of the way. We still have to run up to the BGA, and we need to put some manure and or some slurry, depending on what we have, into our new fertilizer production. So boom, all the straw in. Thought it was going to be a big project. Really wasn't at all. Little Massey did a great job. Even did it in the snow. Love the tracks. Look at the snow deformation. Such a cool day in the snow today. So, getting the TLX turned around. Let's see if we can do that without sliding into stuff. There we go. Got a little bit of traction there on the corner when we hit the gravel. Not going to complain about that. I almost went to the store this morning and picked up a snowblower so we could clear out part of the yard, but I think this is our first snow in 4 years on Sunshine Forest. It's actually stuck and hung around. I mean, it's 26 degrees. It's a cold day, but we have had just no snow on this series at all, so I'm so excited to have it. All right, 200,000 liters of food in here. We do need to run and get the milk today as well. These guys have no straw either. Man, I am slacking on keeping up with the breeding barn. We're going to have to just throw a couple bales in there. We don't want them not producing manure. Can we do 4? It's going to come out the wrong way. I was going to say it's not going to be a 2x2 stack, is it? And that's going to make it a bit challenging. I don't know. We put, what did we put? 8 bales into the new bullpen. We're putting 4 in here. That's 12 of the 24. So I've already used half. There's no way we're getting through the barn door like this, are we, guys? I realized the error of my decision immediately. But we've gone through half the straw bales just getting going this morning. Yeah, I'd go with this is not going to work. Let's put it down. There we go. We'll take it in. We'll take this one in. And you want to know what? There's a reason there's straw in the straw blower, guys, because this barn does not take bales. Oh, don't knock them all over. Alright, we are getting stacked up on tasks. We've got to get something done here. Where is the Fiat? Perfect. You see that, guys? I think the Fiat may have slid down the hill a little bit while we were away. Let's get the straw blower. Trying to get organized here, getting distracted by how great the weather is. Not staying on task, but we are getting there. We're back. All right, straw blower connected. Can we snake in the little opening I left? We might have to bump the one straw bale. That's okay. Perfect. Now we do want to bring that down, and I'll tell you why. Well, we'll bring it back up. We'll bump this one in real quick. So we're going to load the rest of the straw in the back with the Massey. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to put this down. We're going to set that guy to keep distributing, and then we're going to come in here with the Massey and get the straw blower filled up. I'll say, as beautiful as the snow is, maybe today wasn't the day to be doing all of the refilling of the big pens. Maybe we should have planned a little bit better and done that when the weather was made it a little easier, but it's an adventure either way. Not complaining, just thinking that in real life we may have wanted to do this the easy way instead of the hard way, but hey. Not hay, but straw. Okay, that bale's going in. Let's see, can we manage a triple stack into the straw blower? How close can we get it? Even if we tip it and the top two fall, perfect. Because then we have the forks on the back. So that is 3 bales loaded. I think they're all going to work. Look at that glide. Got a good little spin on our Massey. Okay. Let's get the rest of this straw set out. So while we're getting the straw set out, I'm going to go ahead and let's start going through our messages here from the Herdsman. So we are in January. Starting right here, the Herdsman sold 6 animals for $27,540.86. So that's great news. So now we're just, if the animals come into the breeding barn and they're beyond the age we want them on the ranch anymore, the Herdsman sells them. That's awesome. He then bought 5 animals that met our criteria for $6,700. So our net there, we made 20 grand today selling animals. Next, the Herdsman inseminated 11 animals, and then I moved 14 to the Herdsman stick and moved 13 from the Herdsman stick into the barn. So great day in the breeding barn. That's what we wanted to have happen. Our herd size, I think, probably overall decreased because of the sales, but we kept the quality of the animals that we wanted. And of course, my perfectly loaded bale did not stay perfectly loaded. There you go. So, checking in on our calves, we only have them in 4 huts, I believe, maybe even 3. Yeah, animals were moved. No updates there that are important. Animals were moved. Again, no updates there that were important. Here we go. Yep. All just animal movement, which is totally fine. Just making sure no one got sick. Perfect. Coming over here, we're going to have some movement. So you can see I put 2 animals in from the Herdsman stick. So that means that we had 2 animals that were born today that were infertile. Now, additionally, he sold 6 animals. So let's check and see what his selling level is. Anything over 1 year, he can sell. So any of our animals that are infertile by the time they reach a year get sold. So we allow them to get up in value a little bit and go from there. I'm sort of wondering what we think their value is. Like, what's the most expensive animal in here? $1,100, and it's 9 months. Here's a $2,000 Angus that is 11 months. But when we come and get the info, where is that Angus? Yeah, infertile. So, I mean, we're going to get $2,000 for an Angus. We'll probably get $1,300 or $1,400 for the brown Swiss. They have 98,000 liters of food and 60,000 liters of water, so they are good to go. Here is the new fertilizer production. We got to get that one going. We'll check the messages here. Maybe if we get into, there we go. So all we have is, oh, we have foot and mouth. Yikes. All right, 9.2 and 9.7. Can we find those animals quickly? I think the fastest way to do it is just to come in here, like we said, and just start scrolling until you see something pop up on the disease. So it's the first Holstein and the first Limousine. All right, so we come in here, first Holstein, diseases, foot and mouth, duration 3 months. Yikes. Start treatment, being treated, great. And then it was the first Limousine also had it. So we need to start treatment, excellent. Come back into messages. We started treatment for the 2 animals that contracted it. And then this morning, we moved 6 animals in and 3 animals out of the pen. So we had 3 animals age up that were eligible to go to the breeding barn, which is good news. All right, last barn. Checking the messages. We had 13 animals were moved out of here. 20 animals were moved into here, which is great. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 birth events. All were singles except for 2 triples. So let's see, that's 10 plus 4. We had 14 calves brought on to the ranch this morning. So that Herdsman update to the Realistic Livestock mod, really, really cool. Very, very helpful. Loving all the info we're getting. So I think we're finally getting caught up. So let's talk about our fertilizer production. I haven't even looked at this mod. I just thought that the barn looked like it fit on the ranch, and I've been thinking about how we need to continue to make money. Keep talking about we are putting the money making in overdrive. So what animal productions can we do? We can do fertilizer production. So let's grab the TLX. Actually, first, why don't we check and see what this production actually does and sort of get an idea. So fertilizer from manure is 500 manure to 100 fertilizer. So it's a 5-to-1. I like that. I like it. It should definitely be reduced. That feels good. Slurry is 500 to 1 as well. Digestate is 500 to 1. So 500 to 1, that feels nice. We're not going to have that much extra manure and slurry that we're going to be producing hundreds of thousands of liters of fertilizer. So coming around here, we're going to have to figure out how we want to do this. I take 2 tipper loads, which is 90,000 liters of manure to the BGA every single day. So this manure heap right here has 116. So if we leave this, I can basically put the manure from the other manure heaps in here. I'll have 90,000 in that one we can take up to the BGA, and a little bit left over because that particular manure heap feeds the greenhouses. So we never want it to be completely empty because we want our lettuce production to continue. So coming back here, 39,000. So at 5 to 1, we're not even going to get 10,000 liters of fertilizer. We're going to be, right now, we're even under 8,000 liters for this. And that emptied that barn entirely. Let's go check and see. The Teen Town barn, I think the barn itself has a glitch with how much manure it produces, because this thing always produces the smallest amount of manure by a huge, huge margin. So 21,000. I don't think I've emptied this one for months, like maybe 6 months. So we're getting 3,000 liters of manure a day out of all of those calves turned teens. So coming in here, I assume the trigger is going to be right in here. It sure is. And that's the last little bit of that manure. I don't feel like we need to go back and get the rest from Teen Town. I think it'll take a little while to burn through that manure anyways. So let's go top this guy off at the breeding barn manure pit, and then let's go get our slurry tanker. That holds 100,000 liters, which is about what the BGA can run through in a day. So we can fill that up and see if there's any extra to put into our new fertilizer production. So we're going to have about 25,000 liters left in here after I take my second trip. So I think that leaves us in good stead. So here we are. Got to be really careful not to slide into the field. Just going to stage. You know what I should do because of the snow. I already started attaching it. Let's reattach it. There we go. Let's get the cover on it. Great looking trailer. Alright, we're not going to slide. I guess it's grass, so it's not the end of the world. We're not going to slide into our fields. It is still snowing. So let's grab our tanker and check and see how much slurry we have today. If it makes sense to take some to the new fertilizer production or not. Cool part about this barn, it's, you know, let's see. Before I say that, let's verify. Yep. 27 degrees. The fans are off, and I didn't turn them off, guys. Very, very cool detail. All right, so we need about 100,000 liters per day up at the BGA, and we have 14,000 liters here. Don't think we're going to have a lot left over for the fertilizer production, but hey, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Let's give it a chance. Yeah, guys, I have news for you. This tree is done. It's done. I'll drag it up to the sawmill between episodes. Get rid of the stump now. But we need this space for the truck to turn around. There we go. Gonna have to do some softening on that corner as well. Clean that up a little bit. Like I said, just put it in to bring you guys in because I was so tired of having too many bowls, and it was costing us money to sell them early. So we had to put the new pen in. 8,000, so this should be about 23,000 total liters of slurry so far. We got 22,365. Now, the breeding barn is traditionally our largest slurry, or amount of slurry, which makes sense because it has the most animals. All right, so 102. So we actually have a little bit that we could put in there. So when this is all said and done, we should have about 30,000 liters extra today that we could put into the fertilizer production. Let's get the fertilizer production turned on for manure because we know we have that in there. I'm going to leave it at 100%. I don't think I want to crank it up. I don't want to get too much money too quickly. Plus, at 48 cycles a day in 500, let's see, that would be 4,800 times 5. That's going to do 20,000 a day, so we may need to increase that a little bit. We'll see what we get through tomorrow, but we don't want to have a bunch of manure and slurry sitting on the farm. Now, we also should take into account that it is winter, and we're not using any of the manure to fertilize our fields, because it would be silly to pay to buy fertilizer when we're producing it here and we have it on the farm. And it's always going to be cheaper and faster to muck your fields than to produce fertilizer and then obviously put it down. So I think that's going to be about it for this episode, guys. Lots and lots of changes on the ranch. It's an exciting day with the snow. We put a new cattle feedlot down to hold the bulls in the back by the birthing barn, so we would stop having to sell our bulls early. I think probably over the next episode or two, we'll get the herdsman in that pen as well, sorry, I gotta say that more clearly, and have him start selling those animals automatically as they age up too. That way we know we can just dump them into the pen and the herdsman will take care of selling them for us. We sold the old bull pen and got a new fertilizer production that is going to help us reach our financial goals and stay within the confines of maintaining a cattle production only source of income. So we're using our manure and our slurry to produce that fertilizer. We bought 24 bales of straw and immediately used 12 of them. We did put 200,000 liters of hay into the breeding barn. That barn is burning through food. So may have to consider expediting our forestry work over there in the area we're expanding, because we may need to use that area to put in a third grass field. I'm becoming a little bit concerned that we may not have enough grass on the ranch to keep our animals fed. And while I don't like buying straw, I think it's a bad idea to be buying hay. That's going to eat into our profits quite a bit. And since we own the land, we just need to buckle down and get that area cleared out. And then we can put in a field come spring, which if we look at the menu here real quick, we can plant grass as early as April. So we have February and March. We have the next 2 months to focus on getting that area cleared out and putting in an additional grass field if we need to. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. Channel memberships are available if you'd like to support my content further, and channel members do get early access to upcoming videos. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.